Alright, here it is. We are getting ready to talk about the ultimate test of leadership. And we're getting started right now. What is up, my winning friend? My name is Zach, and welcome back to another video. If this is your first time here and you want to reach your potential and you want to crush your goals, you can start right now by hitting subscribe and tap the bell notifications. That way you don't miss anything. Alright, so if you change the leader, you change the organization. Everything rises and falls on leadership. However, leaders, it's not easy to change leaders either. Matter of fact, leaders resist change just like followers resist change. An unchanged leader equals an unchanged organization. People do what people see. The first order of change is myself. Once I consider how hard it is to change myself, then I can have an understanding of how difficult it's going to be in trying to change others. That is the ultimate test of leadership. Once a leader has personally changed and can tell the difference between novel change and needed change, then the leader must become a change agent. In a world that's constantly changing and throwing curveballs at us, you got to be able to adapt quickly and be able to bring your organization with you. When you're through changing, you are through. A good exercise to do when you're faced with this change is to make a list of the logical advantages and disadvantages on a piece of paper of what the results will come from this change, and to make another list of the psychological impact that it will have. Just by making this list will help clarify things and help put things into perspective for you and simplify them as well. And at the end of the list, you might be sitting there thinking like, alright, I am a little insecure because I know I need to change because it makes logical sense, but I'm just afraid to. Another possibility is that the change that you're considering doesn't affect you psychologically, but it just doesn't make sense logically when you weigh the advantages and disadvantages. The key is to distinguish between the logical and psychological effects of the change. There's nothing more difficult than undertaking change in the organization, and the reason why that is because you're going to have people resistant to change because there's people that have done well and thrived under the old conditions, and there's nobody that's done well under the new conditions because it's uncertain, it's a new world. There's only just a lukewarm feeling of people that may think that they can do well. That's why people are so stuck in their ways and don't want to get out of the comfort zone, because they know that they can do the things that they're already accustomed to doing. And the fear of the unknown is a very real thing. And this isn't just an organizational thing, this is a universal truth that people fear change, but sometimes it's very necessary. So let's talk about some reasons why people resist change. One of them is because it's not self-initiated. If the change isn't self-initiated, if people don't feel like they have ownership of the change, they'll be more resistant. They feel like they are being pawns and that they are being controlled in these situations. So a wise leader will allow his followers to give input into this change and allow them to be a part of the change process. Another reason is that routine is disrupted. 95% of the things that we do on a day-to-day basis are run through our subconscious mind. Like, I don't have to think right now how to talk, how to move my jaw muscles and use the voice velocity to talk into this camera that I'm speaking to right now. We are running on our subconscious mind on autopilot most of the time. So when we change, after we build up the habits of doing things under the old way, now we gotta switch and we gotta use our brains more consciously to embed these into our subconscious mind. Our whole routine is disrupted, and that makes change hard because people have to consciously think about things. Change creates a fear of the unknown. When you change, you're traveling in uncharted waters. When you're doing something that you've never done before, there's the uncertainty of, is this gonna be a failure or is this gonna be a success? Am I a good fit or am I not? This one feeling alone can drive people to resist change. When the purpose of the change is unclear, you're going to have people that resist the change. If you don't have a clear, concise reason why you are changing and the mission for it and the purpose, and the organization knows about it, then people are going to resist that change. Another reason is when the followers don't respect the leader. When the followers don't like the leader who oversees the change, this feeling alone will not allow them to see the change objectively. In other words, they view the change and according to how they view the change agent. And a key principle to leadership is that you have to love them before you lead them. Literally, you gotta love the people that you're leading before you can ever lead them. When that is established, then people will be more inclined to follow you. Now, there are many more reasons why people resist change, but those are some of the most basic, some of the most common problems that you're gonna run into when faced with change. So let's talk about a checklist, some of the things that you're going to want to go over before you initiate the change. Before Every single time before you make the decision of changing, you're going to want to run some of these questions through your own mind before you make that decision. Some of the questions are going to be, is this change in line with our personal mission statement? Is this change going to benefit the followers? Are the top 20% the influencers in my organization on board with this change? Is it possible to test this change before making a total commitment to it? Does this change have both short-term and long-term benefits? Is the leadership within this organization capable about bringing this change? Is the timing right for this change? Run these questions over and over and over before you actually initiate the change. Then another thing that you're going to have to keep in consideration here is that you're going to have to create a climate for change. So in order to create the climate for change, you're first going to have to build the trust with the people in the organization. It's a wonderful thing when the people believe in the leader, but it's even more wonderful when the leader believes in the people. The leader must make personal changes before he asks other people to change. So literally what that means is you're going to have to lead by example. You're going to have to be that change that you want to see in other people. You ever hear that quote, be the change that you want to see in the world? That's exactly what you're going to have to do. Lead by example. Do the thing that you want to see happen in the organization first before you ask your followers to do it. You're going to have to place the influencers within your organization into leadership positions. People that can lead people are going to have to be in these positions to help bring about this change and make it more effective and more easy for the organization as a whole to change. Then you're going to have to check the change in your pocket before you ask about this change from your followers. Look at relationships like this way. Every single relationship is like a bank account. Before you can make withdrawals from the bank account, you must first make a deposit in there. So you have to make healthy deposits in each one of these relationships and have that trust in each one of these people that's in your organization before you can ask them to change and make those deposits. Show the people how the change will actually benefit them. That is so key. People are more inclined to change and more open and more willing to it when they actually know that it's going to benefit them. You can make a choice today, right now, to change, and when change is successful, you're going to look back on it and call it growth. If you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about leadership skills, then check out this playlist right there. Share this video on Facebook, and if you're part of any personal development groups, you can share it with your friends there. And if you want to reach your potential and crush your goals, you can start right now by hitting subscribe and tap the bell notifications. That way, you don't miss anything. Thanks for watching, my winning friend. I'll see you next time.